Hi, my name is Elizabeth. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Here we like to talk about astrology, numerology, and everything written in the stars for you. Today, I want to talk about March of 2025 and why this is going to be one of the most intense months that we will see in 2025. I feel like we have not seen energy like this since about 2022 because I know that was a really tough year for a lot of us. The reason why March of 2025 is going to be one of the most intense months for all of us is because we're going to have two major planetary retrogrades. Venus is going to go retrograde on March 2nd, and it's going to be retrograde until April 13th. And then we're going to have Mercury retrograde, which is going to begin on March 14th and go through April 7th of this year. So we're going to have two major planetary retrogrades at this time. And due to these planetary retrogrades in these signs, we're going to be reassessing our relationships, who we surround ourselves with, who our close connections are. And with Mercury going retrograde as well, we need to be very careful of the words that we choose and how we communicate with our closest relationships, as there could be some fogginess around what we're saying and who we're talking to, how we communicate with our coworkers, how we communicate with our bosses, how we communicate with our friendship groups, our friends, our family, because it could have a lasting impact on our relationships with them long term. It's also important to note that we are going to be having a partial solar eclipse on March 29th. And this is going to usher in a new 2-year period of our lives that are going to start on the 29th and last all the way through 2027, with a theme on individuality, how you present yourself in this world, and who you are as a person, as we are going to have a heavy focus on Aries energy during the solar eclipse. And the very next day after the solar eclipse, Neptune is going to enter the sign of Aries, which it has not been in since 1861, which was the start of the Civil War. And this new period of time is going to last from March 30th of 2025 all the way through 2039, which is about 15-year period of time where we're going to see more confusion and illusion around other people's actions and what other people really stand for. And this is going to have us confused around what people are doing, other people's actions, and it's going to bring illusion around what we truly stand for. But we might also find that when Neptune enters Aries, it's going to affect us all in an individual way. Wherever Aries is in your birth chart, it will light up that area for you. For example, if you're a Libra Rising and Aries is in your 7th house, you might find more illusion around who you're dating. You could also attract more partners with Neptunian qualities. Maybe these people are artists or singers or people who are creative people. These people could also have addictions to things because those are all very Neptunian qualities. You could also find this kind of swing the other way, where you find yourself alone more often than not and kind of dreaming of your partner. That's one example. However, the transits are going to affect us all individually in a different way, depending on your rising sign. So I'm going to go ahead and go through all of the rising signs to kind of give you a rundown of how this month is going to affect you based on your rising sign. But it's important to look at your rising, sun, and moon sign to get a full sense of how this upcoming month is going to be for you. If you're an Aries rising, this month might be a little intense for you because you have so much emphasis on you. We have so many planets in the sign of Aries. We have 2 planetary retrogrades in the sign of Aries. And not only that, but we're also going to be having a lot of emphasis on your 12th house, which is kind of like the house of suffering, right? It's the house of the unseen. It's the house of when you're alone and turning to spirituality to kind of figure things out. You find hospital systems here. Like when you're laying in a hospital bed, that is very 12th house. The 12th house also rules over surgeries as well. So that's kind of like an example. So I think it's so important to, before I go into all the details of the upcoming month for you, to pay attention to your health. You're on top of your health. You're good, you're making sure you're taking care of yourself, you're eating healthy, you're working out, you're making sure you don't have any physical injuries because that could also happen. So make sure that like you're good because the upcoming month is going to be kind of chaotic and intense for you. So starting off the month, you're going to be having a big stellium of planets in your 12th house. And you might find that during this time, something could happen to your health. You could also find that you have hidden enemies come out of the blue. You could also find that now that Pluto has been going through your 11th house of friendship groups, your allies, and your close connections with people who will always support you, you could find that those people who were previously your allies now turned into hidden enemies. And then all of a sudden, those hidden enemies are starting to bully you or attack you for your appearance, as Venus is going to be retrograde through your first house. And you could find that there might be intensity around the way people speak about your appearance. And your previous connections with these people have now turned into just negative Nellies. And with the solar eclipse being in your first house, you could undergo a period over the next 2 years where you begin working on your appearance and changing your appearance, or just focusing on your appearance more, whether it was due to health issues or something that happened with your friends that are now foes. You could be focused more on your own self-identity and doing more things for yourself. However, the very next day after the solar eclipse, you're going to have Neptune transiting your first house of Aries over the next 15 years until 2039. You might find that you might begin a period of your life where you become very confused about how you feel about yourself, how you want to present yourself in this world, who you want to see yourself as, what your self-identity is. So this period of your intensity with your friendship groups and the groups of people who you affiliate with, and Venus and Mercury retrograde could have you end up feeling very confused about yourself and wanting to self-improve yourself over the next 2 years in order to better yourself and attract more people who are positive into your life. Taurus Rising. Taurus, during the month of March, be very careful about who you choose to surround yourself with during this time. You have Pluto transiting your 10th house, which is known for fame, recognition, notoriety. With Pluto transiting your 10th house, you might be pushed into the spotlight in some way. You could have been given a promotion at work, or maybe you're posting on social media and going viral and having a very successful page, or maybe you're a music artist and all of a sudden your music decides to pop off. Something like that would push you into the spotlight, that gives you a lot of power in your image. And when you have kind of a powerful image, you might find that your friendships and allies, which you're going to be having a lot of emphasis on, as we're going to be starting off the month with a big stellium in your 11th house, might turn into hidden enemies. And the people who were your previous allies might all of a sudden turn on you because they might become jealous or envious of your public image. And once we have Venus retrograde starting on the 2nd of March and Mercury retrograde starting on the 14th of March, which is going to be going backwards through your 12th house of suffering and hidden enemies, you might find that the people who were your previous allies now turn on you and are now your enemies publicly. And you might find some suffering in this, because I feel like it's kind of like very stressful when you had previous allies then turn on you and turn into enemies. So it's very important, like during this time, to kind of stay grounded and remember who you are. And remember, when Pluto is going to be transiting your 10th house over the next 20 years until 2044, that you are staying grounded and you're only surrounding yourself with people who are positive for you. You might find that this could be a learning experience when you have all this energy going through your 11th house, and then all of a sudden you have to reassess your relationships as a bunch of hidden enemies now come out. To only surround yourself with positive people, or even spend more time alone in order to protect yourself from hidden enemies. Because when we have the solar eclipse on the 29th, this is going to be in your 12th house of Aries. You might find that you actually want to undergo a period of your life over the next 2 years that you spend more time alone to focus on your creativity or focus on your art, in order to make sure that you're basically safe from hidden enemies or something like that could come out in March. And the very next day, you're also going to be having Neptune going through your 12th house. The word of advice is to make sure to stay sober and away from from substances, as Neptune and the 12th house kind of rules over addictions. It's important to kind of remember, like, even if you have a lot of attention on your public image right now, it's still important to not go the other way. Like, you don't want to hurt yourself over something that you're just having a transit in. You know, you want to make sure that you remain healthy. Just know, if you're in a toxic situation right now with people or people who you previously thought were your friends, make sure that you can remove yourself from the situation and just kind of focus on what truly matters, because at the end of the day, what really matters is your own mental health and taking care of yourself. You need to make sure that you surround yourself with positive people and don't fall into the influence of something that could cause you to have an addiction to something or something like that. And remember, Neptune is going to be transiting your 12th house over the next 14-15 years until 2039. Other great thing about Neptune is you might even become more creative. Go and channel this into your own creativity, because it will in turn help your public image. When you focus more on like the creative aspects, you'll see your public image bloom. Gemini Rising, March 2025, you are going to be working on your public image more and more often. How are you viewed in the spotlight and in your career, and how your group affiliations are. For example, if you are focused more on your career during the month of March, you might find that you're going to be going out and networking more and more often. And during this time, you might actually undergo a period of reassessing your relationships with your network of people, whether if you have a job working in finance, for example, how you network with people and how you grow your network, how you gain new clients, how you work with these people. That is going to be undergoing a reassessment during this time. You will be working more and more and more on your public reputation and how you're viewed in the public eye and how you network with other people. You also are currently having Pluto going through your 9th house of travel and higher education. So you could also be traveling more often in order to grow your network of people. And during this time, Gemini, you are going to be working on becoming a better person in your career. You're also going to be heavily focused on group affiliations, your network connections, and how to really tap into them more and often. You're also going to be reassessing how you communicate with your network. For example, if you're a realtor, you could begin like an email newsletter or start to reassess how you're actually going and communicating with this network. You could be posting more on things like LinkedIn. You could be trying to grow your image on LinkedIn in order to attract more business opportunities. You could also post more on social media in order to attract more people. During the entire month, you're going to be reassessing how you communicate with them and how to better your public image. And you could be trying to learn more and more and more how to tap into these people and how to really tap into it to grow your career and reputation and long-term attract more money to you. On the 29th, we are also going to be having the solar eclipse in your 11th house, which is group affiliations, network connections, and things of that nature. This theme is going to last over the next 2 years for you, where you are trying to tap into your networks, trying to grow your social networks, trying to grow your connections with people and your group affiliations in order to better your public image. With Neptune entering the sign of Aries on the 30th, you might find that you could begin to post more video content or more creative content in order to tap into this audience. Cancer Rising, March 2025 is going to be a month where you are going to be working on learning more information and perfecting your own public image. At the start of the month, we are going to be having a stellium of planets going through your 9th house of Pisces. This is going to have you want to learn new information. You could be watching YouTube videos about how to create more content, or maybe you are working on getting a certificate and a degree in order to better your own public image. On March 2nd, you are going to be having Venus backwards through your 10th house, which is known for reputation, career. This is where we find your fame. And on March 14th, we are going to have the planet Mercury go backwards through your 10th house as well. And you're going to go through a period of reassessing how you appear in the public eye and what you truly want out of your public image. And at the end of this month, on the 29th, we are going to be having the solar eclipses in your 10th house of Aries. And this is going to have you undergo a new period of your life that's going to last 2 years, where you work to better your public image and career. And with Neptune entering your 10th house on the very next day, you could consider working on more creative projects in order to better your own public image. If you're a Leo rising, March of 2025 is going to be a year where you are very focused on becoming the best version of yourself possible, and you could highly consider going back to school and getting a new degree or even a certificate in order to help better yourself. You could also consider traveling more often, or maybe you travel to a college or a university that will help you achieve a new degree in order to further your career and better yourself. We start off the month with a collection of planets in your 8th house, which is known for transformation. It's known for death and rebirth. It's known for transforming people into new versions of themselves. And on March 2nd, we are going to have the planet Venus go retrograde through your 9th house, which is about higher education, travel, and learning, as well as Mercury going through that house as well on the 14th. So you are going to be wanting to transform yourself into this new version of yourself, where you're reassessing what you want out of life and how you are going to achieve that new degree in order to further your career, or achieve that new certificate in order to push yourself further. But March 2025 is going to be that month that is going to transform you into this new version of you, due to the heavy emphasis of 8th house planets. And on March 29th, we're going to have a partial solar eclipse in your 9th house, which is going to have you undergo a new 2-year period where you're going to be focused on your higher education. You're going to be focused on travel. You're going to be focused on learning new things. And this is going to be a major theme over the next 2 years. And with Neptune entering this house on the 30th, this is going to be a major theme that lasts throughout your life until 2039. Virgo Rising, March 2025 is going to be a month where you're heavily focused on your relationships with others, how you're seen in the public eye, and how you can transform yourself and your new public image in order to gain more money and increase your finances. We start off the month with a big stellium of planets in your 7th house, which is our one-on-one relationships. These are like our close connections. These are our best friends. These are our business partners. And at the same time, you're going to be having Jupiter transit your 10th house of fame, recognition, notoriety. Throughout the entire year of 2024 and into 2025, you could have all of a sudden come into the spotlight in some way. Maybe you got a movie deal, or maybe you got a huge influx of followers on social media or something like that. And when we enter March of 2025, with the planet Venus going retrograde through your 8th house on the 2nd, the 8th house being known for other people's resources, you're going to start to want to consider how to monetize that new audience more, how to tap into that audience in order to increase your finances. And with Mercury going retrograde through your 8th house on the 14th, you're going to find that Mercury is going to want you to do this and have you think really, really hard and reassess what you're doing in order to increase your finances. You could start a new business where you are the owner of that business, and where you're selling a product or service that your followers or your audience can purchase from you. You could create like a makeup line or a makeup palette, or you could create like a clothing line or something of that nature. And with the solar eclipses happening in your 8th house, this theme is going to be lasting over the next 2 years. So this new business venture that you decide to start, you will actually continue with it over the next 2 years. And with Neptune entering your 8th house on the 30th, the day after, you could find that with the Neptune affiliation with this, you could be creating more things that will tap into that new audience of people. You could be on camera more often. You could be undergoing a period of great creativity for you, where you create a product to then sell to your audience, basically, or a service that they would be interested in. Libra Rising, the month of March for you is going to be a month where you're very focused on your own personal health, how to improve your health and your work as well. And during this time, you're going to have 2 planetary retrogrades be going through your 7th house, as we're going to have Venus go retrograde on the 2nd through your 7th house. And we're also going to have Mercury retrograde through your 7th house as well. And during this time, you could begin to heavily consider getting married or something similar, or finding a partner. So you could be going on more dates. You could be going out more often. You could go and try to meet more people. You could be going to bars or other places where you would find somebody who would be a potential marriage partner. You're looking for like a long-term relationship in order to self-improve yourself. And due to the solar eclipse in your 7th house on March 29th, this is going to be a theme that is going to last over the next 2 years, where you're looking to self-improve yourself through a partnership or a marriage. However, with Neptune entering your 7th house on the 30th, in your quest to find a partner or a spouse, you might attract people with Neptunian qualities where they are creative people, or maybe they are addicts, or maybe they're wishy-washy. But remember to kind of stay your ground and remember like the qualities that you seek for in a partner, and don't let other people try to get to you when you're working on bettering yourself. Scorpio Rising, the month of March is going to be a month where you're heavily focused on going out and having fun and doing the things that bring you joy. You could also be focused on being more creative during this time as well. However, it's important to remember that even though you are going out and having fun, you need to take care of your health. On March 2nd, you're going to be having the planet Venus go retrograde through your 6th house, as well as Mercury going retrograde through your 6th house starting on the 14th. This is going to bring into light your health. It's going to put your health into the spotlight, and even though you're going out and partying and having fun, you're going to have to sit back and kind of refocus on your health in order to be able to continue and go party. This is going to be a theme in your life over the next 2 years, as you're also going to be having the solar eclipse in your 6th house of Aries. You're going to continue to try to focus on improving your health over this time period. You might find that when you're going out and having fun, something could happen to you where it might have not happened previously when you were doing that. It's just during this transit, you have found that all of a sudden something had happened to your health that was detrimental. And with Neptune transiting your 6th house, starting the very next day on the 30th, you'll find that this theme might actually last until about 2039. So remember to take care of your health, and make sure to remember that your health should be first. Even though you want to go out and have fun with your friends, it's important that your health comes first. Sagittarius Rising, March 2025 is going to put a big emphasis on your domestic home life and what your relationships are with children. So we're going to start off the month with a lot of planetary focus on your 4th house, and this is going to be the place where we find our home life, our domestic life, how we see ourselves at home, our activities that we do at home. And starting on March 2nd, we're gonna have the planet Venus go retrograde through your 5th house. Our 5th house is where we can find children. It can also be kind of like where we find joy and happiness. However, with the affiliation of the 4th house, I think it's going to manifest with more of a focus on children and your affiliations with children. When you're focused on your home life, you might actually start to go back and kind of consider having children. And March 2025 is going to kind of be that turning point in your life where you're actually thinking about having kids. And with the partial solar eclipse on March 29th, you're going to find that this theme is going to last over the next 2 years, where you're seriously starting to think about having kids. And with Neptune entering your 5th house the very next day, this theme could last until 2039. Capricorn Rising, March 2025 is going to be a month for you where you are going to be partaking in more intellectual activities, and learning and studying more information will actually have an impact on your home life. You might decide to begin to listen to more podcasts, watch more YouTube videos, or just take in more information during this time, and it's going to have you want to redesign your home or your living space, as Venus, the planet of creation, is going to be going retrograde through your 4th house starting on March 2nd. And this is going to have you want to redesign your space, recreate your space, make your space feel more home-like to you, or you might be taking in more inspiration from all of the things that you are reading, as you're going to be having a lot of planets go through your 3rd house, which is known for mental activity, and take all that information and begin to redesign your space. You could also find that you're going to be traveling and taking more short trips to the store more and more often in order to get more things to redesign your house. You could also find that with Mercury going retrograde through your 4th house as well, this is going to be a time where you reassess how you're living, your living space, what you want out of your living space. You're going to be more thinking about this intellectually and seriously considering it. You could actually do a lot of home improvements during this time as well, because when we have Venus and Mercury go retrograde through your fourth house, as well as all of the mental activity that you're going to be having with all the emphasis on your third house, you're going to be really thinking about your home life and what you really want out of it and how you want your space to look, and you're going to be going and renovating it and redesigning it. And with the solar eclipse on the 29th, you're going to find that this theme is going to last over the next 2 years for you. And with Neptune entering your fourth house of Aries, you're going to find that you might begin to become more creative with your living space over the next 14 to 15 years. Aquarius, March 2025 is going to have a heavy focus on your personal finances, how you can grow your personal finances, and you sitting back and reconsidering everything that you're currently doing and really thinking and learning about how you can increase your finances. We're going to start off the month with a lot of energy in your second house. We're going to have a collection of planets in your second house, which is going to cause you to really think about how you're getting money, how you're supporting yourself. And with Venus, the planet of money, going retrograde through the mental stimulation, mental activity, and social media, you might find that it could be a great way for you to make more money through social media or something like that. And with Mercury going retrograde through your third house as well, you might also be like, okay, now is the time for me to find new ways to make more money. You could create a product or a service, or again, you could be posting more on social media and monetizing yourself on social media, as the third house rules over social media. And with the solar eclipses happening on the 29th, you're going to find that this theme is going to last over the next 2 years. And with Neptune entering your third house as well on the 30th, you might find that you're going to be more creative with the way that you speak and the way that you communicate. And you could be more creative on platforms like social media. This theme may last for you for the next 14 to 15 years, as Neptune is going to be in your third house in the sign of Aries until 2039. Pisces Rising, during the month of March 2025, you're going to be heavily focused on your own appearance and how you present yourself in this world and how you can monetize off of it. So we're going to start the month with a heavy focus on your first house, which is your appearance, how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself. And we are also going to be having the planet Venus, which is known for finances, begin to go retrograde through your second house, which again is known for finances, on March 2nd, as well as Mercury going retrograde through your second house on March 14th. So these combination of planets are going to have you think about new ways that you can make more money with your appearance. Maybe you're posting more on social media. Maybe you're going out and getting a modeling contract. Maybe you're going and starting to become an actor. Maybe you're making YouTube videos. Maybe you're going live on Twitch, something like that, where you can monetize off of your beauty and off of your appearance. And this is going to be a theme that is going to last over the next 2 years, as the solar eclipse is going to be in your second house. And this is going to be something that you're going to be really thinking about over the next 2 years, and how to really monetize, like, just using your appearance. Again, maybe you're doing something like streaming on Twitch where you're playing video games and kind of just using your appearance to like entertain a big audience, something like that. That is very likely going to be a theme that is going to last for you over the next 2 years. With Neptune entering your second house, you might actually find that you're going to be more creative in these endeavors, and it's going to be a theme that's going to last for you until 2039. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Elizabeth. If you want more content like this, please subscribe to my channel.